primary authority was introduced by the government because of inconsistencies in regulatory delivery across the UK. Different authorities, different officers could have different interpretations of the law, and that caused concern and issues for businesses who wanted to trade nationally. As an authority, we got involved with primary authority early on because we believe it offers a great significant value to a business to have that assured advice, to know that when we give advice to a business, they can legally rely upon it.
Primary authority is a concept which was introduced a few years ago, whereby businesses can enter into a relationship with one single local authority, and from that local authority they can obtain advice about regulatory areas such as trading standards, food hygiene, health and safety, licensing, and it means that they are getting consistent advice rather than getting different advice from different local authorities in different areas. So it gives them that single point of contact. It also means they can obtain what's called assured advice. So where the primary authority gives assured advice, it makes it really difficult for another local authority in another area to challenge what that business is doing. So it enables more consistency, and it enables a business to have more confidence to go ahead and carry on new procedures, new product development and things like that, without running the risk of being told they're non-compliant and having to deal with those sorts of challenges later down the line.
It's a very interesting question. When I started my career, I was very much a regulator. You'd engage with a business. The business would only tell you as much information as they felt was necessary to answer your questions. And although we wanted to support a business, there was always a Chinese wall between us and them. The primary authority partnership breaks down that wall. Because everything we discuss is commercially confidential, we can have a full discussion with the business and give advice based on all the information that's available, and therefore we can give the best advice and best support to a business.
It's changed the way local authorities and enforcement officers work with businesses quite significantly. It means that now the relationship we're having is much more proactive, it's more open, businesses are able to be more honest and seek advice up front rather than feeling fearful of the regulator coming in and catching them out, so to speak. It's much more proactive and working together to help the business do the best they can and grow. That's the aim of it, really. The regulatory companion is it's a single point of contact that the business can come to and gain advice from different teams within regulatory services. So they can come to that single point and ask questions and get advice from trading standards, from environmental health and from licensing, and get a consistent response. It saves them having to go to different departments to ask different questions or even work out which department they need to go to. It makes it a lot more streamlined and hopefully a lot easier for the business to access the advice thereafter.
I believe our key selling points are the fact that we engage with the business, we seek to work very closely with that business, and we generally want to support that business in any way that we can for that business to achieve its best potential. Predominantly we're a food and product safety based in terms of our expertise. Within the team we have an officer with over 30 years experience within food labelling. He sits on the Food National Panel and is well placed to give the best advice to any national business that we're working with. We also have a number of product safety officers who again have long careers within Trading Standards and have specialist knowledge on product safety. So again, we feel very comfortable providing that support. We currently work with over 100 primary authority companies within our partnerships. Our biggest company is Aldi, We work with B&M stores, we work with service providers such as Anglian Water, we work with manufacturers of food such as Del Monte, John West, we work with toy manufacturers such as John Adams. It's a real range of businesses, and that gives us expertise in food labelling, food descriptions and product safety, which is where we major on our technical advice.
Our team has a really good mixture of levels of experience and backgrounds. We're a fully recruited team, so we're strong in numbers, which gives you the assurance you've always got somebody there when you need us. We've got officers with years and years of experience in environmental health. We've got officers who are more newly qualified as well, who have fresh and new ideas. But many of the team have worked in private industry and run food businesses or worked in non-food businesses. So we've got that practical, real-life experience that we can bring to the table as well, which I think is a real benefit because we can see things from your perspective and offer you practical solutions of how to actually implement legislation in real life in your setting. So we've got a wide range of primary authorities that we're currently working with. We've got a mixture of large businesses, multinational chains. We've also got relationships with some smaller, newer businesses who are looking to grow. And also some more unusual businesses who are looking to diversify and looking at being quite innovative. So a really wide range of different types of businesses that we're working with at the moment.
We're very much open for discussions with businesses as to what a business needs and the requirements of that specific business. As examples of what we have done with our partners is we will offer training on areas of aspects of law, on both civil and criminal law. We can carry out audits, we can carry out sampling, we can have product examined. It's really providing a service to a business that fits with that business needs. So we're very, very flexible as to what we offer.
So in addition to advice, other services we can offer include auditing, product testing, sampling, food sampling, for example. We can help with staff training. We can run workshops with your staff on new legislation, that sort of thing as well. So it's not just providing the advice, it's actually assisting in the practical side and implementation of things too.
I've recently worked with a company who has national retailers wanting to significantly extend the shelf life on their product. So we assisted them with auditing their paperwork, food sampling at their premises to make sure that they were complying with the food legislation. They didn't manage to get the shelf life that they wanted to, but we did manage to extend the shelf life to a suitable product. So that was working closely with them. I also work quite closely with a restaurant group that has 8 premises throughout the UK. They came to us as a new business and wanted some advice and support, and we've helped them develop their HACCP. We've also this year trying to help them out with auditing and to create an inspection plan that will go live on the Primary Authority website to assist other local authority partners to focus their resources. Although many of the big organisations are regulated by the Health and Safety Executive, we can still provide support on safe systems of work, risk assessments, help and support should they have an accident arise, and general advice on those sorts of things. We've recently worked with a major national retailer to assess their risk assessments, safe systems of work, along with their food safety management systems, but their documentation definitely has been helped by having a review from ourselves.
We will look to inspect your premises on a regular basis to ensure that you're compliant with the legislation and the conditions attached to your licence, and we will also talk to you about any developments you want to make to your business and how to do that through the licensing regime.
We're working at the moment with a business who is looking to recycle a product that would currently be wasted. So they're looking at being more environmentally friendly and actually developing what would have been a waste product into a usable product. And so obviously they're going into the realms of food legislation, which they haven't been involved with before. So we're working with them to help them do what they want to do, but do it in a safe and compliant way.
We've had a number of partners who had products which aren't quite traditional and have challenged both ourselves and the Food Standards Agency. One particular example was caviar, which is quite an unusual product in itself. We had a client who was going to be harvesting caviar sustainably. So rather than traditional process of killing the sturgeon fish to extract the eggs, they were going to allow the fish to spawn, harvest the eggs and carry on with the fish for a long time, because the fish can live, I think it's 20 years or more. The issue was whether that could be called caviar as it was harvested in a different way. And following discussions with the Food Standards Agency and ourselves carrying out research, the product was able to be labelled and marketed and sold as caviar.
Silverspoon is a retail arm of British Sugar, which in turn is a big part of a bigger organisation, Associated British Foods. You may already recognise some of the companies in ABF, Twinings Tea, for example, Jordan's Rivita, Blue Dragon products. Silverspoon is purely the sugar business. Our business has benefited, from the primary authority even more than it did before the primary authorities came into place, in that we can ask questions. Our primary authority enforcing officers are very generous. They're very knowledgeable people. Lots of advice. I can give lots of examples of advice that we've received, from primary authority, from simple things like, we're putting out a new product and we want to make claims. Can we make these claims without falling foul of the regulation? It's a good example, Another one is if you're using ingredients that are not just commonly available there. So sweeteners, a good example, what should a product with sugar and sweeteners, how should it be labeled, Should the label be up front or should it be in the back, So that has been very useful to us. I think primary authority advice, to overcome particular challenges. There are many, but let's take the most current one, which is the acrylamide issue. The acrylamide is a big topic, for Food Standards Authority. So they are surveying a lot of companies where products are cooked, baked, high temperature products, And really, the primary authority, knowing what the toolbox says, what the guidelines are, have worked with us, to make sure that we are complying. When we say we're complying, we can provide evidence, of what we're doing. And where it doesn't seem robust enough, we've worked together to make sure that everything we're doing complies and will be satisfactory. And as a result, our acrylamide level in our baked products are as low as they can possibly be. I can only describe the relationship and the advice that we've had from Cambridgeshire as excellent, because, first of all, they're very responsive. And if there's an issue, they contact us immediately. And it is not an edict. It's not like, we're the enforcers. It's almost a partnership, which is very useful for us, because we don't feel threatened. You can have a binding advice if you need to. You can have advice that actually other authorities will accept. So from my point of view, I think it's a better system. We pay a small fee. It's actually less than the value of the advice and the guidance that we get from primary authority. I would say to any business considering it, take it up.